Morning, everyone. We made it to the weekend. Hope everybody's training is going well and maybe a little better than mine. But I am still hanging on to some hopes for London in 8 weeks. We're exactly 8 weeks out. I've had a little bit of a setback that I'm trying to figure out, but I think I've come up with a couple theories. Just I'm doing something a little different. I'm sharing my screen, and I have my Strava profile up just to look at the previous 8 weeks. One thing I did accomplish was I did get some miles in. I do have somewhat of a base. If you look at my weekly mileage here we are in August. In the last 4 weeks, I did manage to get 80 miles in each week, but it was painfully slow. And this last week, I think I went just a little too far. But you can see here, June is when I had hyperextended my leg and my knee, and I'm kind of coming back from that. I my leg has to I have to get really tired before I kind of start noticing something there, but that has gotten better. But now I've kind of moved my problem to my other ankle. I've definitely been having to compensate a little bit with my other leg. I have, balance. We've said in the past, balance is so important and running smooth and good form. And I've had none of that, but I've kind of force my way through to get some kind of base for London, and I've done that. So now this week I was hoping to transition quickly and smoothly into some faster running for these next, 6 weeks. And it's kind of hard to gauge your faster running with this oppressive humidity. But I did kind of taking a step back, some other things I have going on is a backpacking trip that I'm leaving for next Saturday. And so I'm going to be backpacking in Colorado at 12,000 feet for 3 nights. Um, and so in preparation for that, I did a camping trip test run with all my gear, no electricity, tents, sleeping on the ground this last weekend in Bellevue, Iowa, which is on the Mississippi River. And I did get my miles in, but and the weather was not bad, but the hills were. So like when I go and I look at my that was the end of July. When I look at my end of July totals, I did get my 80 miles in, but I had 2,100 feet of elevation gain. When I compare that to the month before, which was about 76 miles. I only had 200. And so my right Achilles and my right ankle did not like that. And so I was feeling some pain while sleeping on the ground, mind you, on both sides of my ankle that I really never felt before. And it was kind of, I think it was really at that time, I think it was my hamstring tightening up from those hills. It was a mile long hill. And amazingly, I felt pretty good kind of getting up that hill, which I did probably 6, 7, 8 times over the several days I was there. And so I came back. I figured that was just an Achilles little flare. I got on some you know anti-inflammatories a little harder for a day or two, and then I actually took a day off yesterday, thinking that might be what I needed. I came back and I did get a 10-mile run in, but my ankles are swelling up. And so and I think maybe the ibuprofen is hiding that pain a little bit. And I think I might have I don't think it's bad, and it's the opposite leg of my hyperextension. So I think I can solve it pretty quickly. So what I'm going to do in this next week, today, I'm going to do a 3 hour stationary bike ride and try to get that swelling down in my ankles, keep them elevated, keep them out of the heat a little bit of ice, all that fun stuff. Uh, but I'm not going to do any of the NSAIDs or anything like that because I want to feel the pain. If there's pain there, I want to feel it. And so I kind of have, a gauge of how am I still hurt there. And be honest, in this kind of weather at the end of a work day, work shoes, my feet kind of swell anyway. So I actually have some swelling in my ankles in both legs, and that's part of, like Dave Floyd said, that's part of getting old, and maybe that's true. So, but so that's the plan. So 8 weeks out. So this little setback, I'm thinking, set me back 5 or 10 minutes for my marathon goal. But if I can bike and keep, I do have a little bit of a base here. So I have that. So if I can keep that and then run every other day for a couple weeks, and then I'm going to be in the mountains uh, Saturday through Tuesday, and so I'll be doing some, we'll call it cross training, hiking up to 12,000 feet and doing some pretty serious hiking with backpacks of 30 pounds. And so I want to make sure my ankles are okay for that also. And then I'm out of town the next weekend for a wedding of my niece in Iowa also. So these next 2 weeks, I'm going to call them kind of transition weeks where I heal up a little bit and I do, some hiking, really get my ankles in order. Hopefully, I have a little bit of this base that I can carry that fitness through, and I can maybe get a good 4 weeks faster training and just slowly do some progression runs every other day. Uh, you know, making sure that I'm putting the priority on the recovery and get my ankles back in order. How can you run faster when your ankles are swollen? I don't think that works very well. So that's kind of the update on me. I'm still in the game, but I am hanging on. Obviously, if I take a day off, that's desperate. If I'm getting on the bike for 3 hours today, that is true desperation. But I'm not out yet. So go Wildcats.